Our film begins today in the 22nd century. Planet Earth is overflowing with garbage due to humanity's actions towards the environment. All humans have left to live on spaceships, leaving robots behind to clean up the mess. We see advertisements for the Starship company trying to convince humans to leave Earth and live temporarily on the ship in space. However, after 700 years, the robots have failed to clean up the Earth, except for one robot named Wally. Wally was working, turning piles of garbage into small boxes. While he was working, he loved listening to music. He was with his friend Roach, who would ask him questions. Whenever he found something useful in the garbage, he would take it home. Among the things Wally had collected was an old romantic movie. Every time he watched it, he felt like falling in love. Then a new dust storm would come, so Wally would lock up his house and go to sleep. In the morning, he would get up because he needed to recharge. He charged using solar power, so he would stand in the sun until he was charged. After that, he would go back to work and amuse himself by looking at the things people found. He would take the things that were useful to him and throw away the things that weren't. After he encountered a problem with a fire extinguisher and didn't know how to use it, Wally opened a box with his laser and found a small squid inside. He put it in the box and went back. He went home, and then Wally found some laser beams moving on the ground. He didn't understand what they were, so he ran after them until many laser beams gathered around him. It turned out to be a spaceship that had landed on Earth. Wally was very scared, so he dug into the ground to hide. After the ship crashed, Wally came out, but he was still scared. A white robot named Eva came out of the ship, and Eva started flying around searching for something specific. Wally followed her, admiring her. When Eva sensed something moving behind her, she tried to shoot it, but luckily for Wally, the shot hit a rock. Wally kept chasing her, but he was scared. But Roach wasn't. Haifa fired a shot, but when she saw him, she liked him very much and played with him. She heard another sound from Wally, so she fired at him, and Wally went inside his box. When Haifa got closer and analyzed him with her laser, she realized he was the cleaning robot, so she left him and walked away. Every time Haifa went, Wally would follow her. As soon as she looked at him, Wally would get scared and try to run away, looking comical. He was always trying to get her attention in any way possible, but she wasn't interested and was still searching for something they didn't know. Once, while she was flying, a magnet was pulling her in, and she couldn't get away from it. Then, a shot went off and destroyed the ship containing the magnet. Wally saw her in a bad and depressed state and tried to approach her and joke with her. Haifa talked to her and introduced them. Wally saw a storm coming towards them, so he took refuge inside his cube. Haifa didn't know what to do in the storm and was scared. And then Wally grabbed her by the hands and took her inside his house. Wally was very excited about his house at that moment and was showing her the things he had. Haifa was a very autonomous robot and could use all of Wally's things autonomously, like solving the Rubik's Cube and Wally watching the movie he liked. Haifa was recording everything she saw, and Wally wanted to dance with her like in the movie, but she was a bit of a wild and strong robot and was going to destroy Wally's house. She loved Wally and made a line on the ceiling, and Wally had a swollen eye, but he had planned for this and had a piece of equipment. Wally, who was a bit of a witch, wanted to grab Diva, but Diva refused. She really liked the lighter, and Wally went to show her the plant he found. When Haifa analyzed it, it turned out to be a compass, and she flew into the air. Wally walked over to a chair and ran to catch up with Eva. Wally got close to her and asked permission to leave. We'll hear Mary and the girls on the screen as he tries to reach Eva. He managed to make Mary not look at the screen, and she was surprised by the outside world as if it were her first time. Wally walked with Eva until they took her to a robot named Goto. Goto analyzes Eva, and she goes to wake up Captain McCree, who is also lazy and doesn't move from his chair. Goto informs Captain McCree of the news, and Wally hides under Captain McCree's desk. Captain McCree starts learning all the news about the ship and the current number of passengers. When he finds out the tokens are late, he gets annoyed and restarts the day from the beginning at 8 a.m. to greet the 255,000 people. He says the same 2 words every day and tells them that since the 700th anniversary, our voyage has been 5 years. I swear our grandparents would be happy that we lived like them, but Goto's robot interrupts him. They say Eva is back and no one is wanted. Eva wakes up, and McCree says this is the first time they've sent a robot to Earth and it's returned with positive results. When he presses on the plant's hair, an old video of the president appears. In it, he says that if you're watching this video, it means a robot went to Earth and returned, proving that Earth is now habitable again. This means the time will come to return to Earth.
Of course, they mean Eva when she found the plant, so Earth is habitable again. The president says to investigate this plant to confirm it's alive, and one ship will return all of Earth. If you have any questions, refer to the instruction manual and follow the instructions. Wally sneaks up on Eva, who is surprised when she sees him. She tries to hide so no one sees him. Then they open Eva to take the plant from her, but they don't find her.
Ahmd-Ai thinks Eva is playing the wrong game, so Captain McCree brings back the sheets to Earth and orders Eva to be repaired. McCree sees Willy, who greets him and holds a Tina in his hand. McCree orders Willy to be cleaned up and puts him in the same car as Eva. McCree analyzes the Tina, and the AI determines it's a material from Earth, made of sand or dust. McCree requests pictures and videos of Earth and is very surprised by the information and videos he sees. He asks the AI many questions about Earth and other things. Meanwhile, they take Eva and Willy to the repair shop. They turn Eva off and try to turn Willy off, but he gets caught in the middle and is immediately finished. He loses his makeup and is devastated in prison. He sees them repairing Eva, but he thinks they are torturing her. He shortens the barrier on his laser and moves to reduce her power. He runs and shortens the door to free her. The robots repairing Eva try to shoot Willy to stop him, but the blow hit the control device and blew it. The entire prison opened, and the robots that were locked in came to life. They went to the robots and thought they were missing something. They ran with them, and Haifa was running after them. The alarms went off, and the guard robots blocked their path. They took a picture of Wally and Eva, and this picture was displayed on all the screens on the ship. They thought Wally and Eva were terrifying and destructive robots and were about to attack them. But Eva took the picture and flew away. They managed to hide until they were safe. They took the elevator, and Wally wanted to apologize, but Eva was furious and broke the screen. After that, Eva took Wally to a spaceship to return to Earth, but Wally refused to leave unless she came with him. Then he heard someone's voice outside.
Tifa turned off everything and they hid. A small robot entered, imprinting its power, and carried Tifa's plant. It placed the plant in the craft to swing it back to Earth. Wally ran to catch the plant, but the small robot accidentally pressed the button, and the craft launched with Wally inside. Tifa escaped through the emergency exit and followed Wally. Wally was pressing all the buttons to stop the craft, but he accidentally pressed the self-destruct button. The craft will be destroyed in 20 seconds. Wally tried to break down the door and escape. Tifa saw the craft suddenly moving in front of her and thought Wally was dead, but it turned out he was flying in space using a fire extinguisher. The two dragons flew around each other until they finally met. He brought out the plant, keeping it safe. Tifa took it, overjoyed, and hugged Wally. They touched each other's feet and emitted a small spark, like a kiss. Wally was shocked and very happy, and they continued flying. The two of them danced together in space, and Mary saw Willy flying and recognized him. Reuven stood beside her and also recognized Willy. The two of them were delighted to see him, and by chance, they met for the first time in real life. Captain McCree was still getting acquainted with Earth. After she put out the fire, Tifa took Willy and they returned to the cistern, sneaking around to avoid security. Tifa left Willy hiding and went to Captain McCree's room. She immediately showed him the plant, and Captain McCree was thrilled and excited that they could return to Earth. He put the device on Tifa to see what Earth looked like now, based on the recordings she had made. However, he was very disappointed because Earth didn't look as beautiful as it did in the videos. He didn't see the blue sky, the farms, the fields, the parties, or the food. But when the film of Willy that Tifa had recorded was shown, Captain McCree saw them dancing and was very impressed with the head. He said, since if the plant lives, there's still hope. And when the two protagonists in the movie are mistreating each other, then
She liked that scene and thought about it. Then she watched the FIFA recordings when they were off, and Wally was trying to be correct in every way possible, to the point of putting himself in danger. At the same time, Wally was thinking about FIFA and held his hand like hers, trying to sneak in and enter the garbage entrance to get Captain McCree. All his blood was flowing and cleaning his tail. Captain McCree decided to return the ship to Earth, but Quat stood in his way and told him to give him the plant. Captain McCree refused to give it to him, and Quat was trying to take it, telling him that they wouldn't force him to return to Earth. He tried to take the plant from him by force, but McCree didn't want to give it to him. Quat showed another video of the president saying that he had the biggest problem, that the process of cleaning Earth of garbage had failed, and the level of toxic materials had made life impossible on Earth. Therefore, they had canceled the return to Earth operation, so you would remain as you were on the ship. He decided to cancel Operation A113, which was cleaning Earth, and all the robots that she was cleaning it and would immediately go to the ship to work there. McCree, with his strength, asked what year the video was from and found that it was recorded about 700 years ago. McCree said that things had changed since then. The land had become habitable, and this plant was growing and maturing, which was proof of his statement. However, his strength had received orders not to return. He then took the plant from Jiva the first time and told McCree that they had to break the orders and that no one should sail the ship. He brought his small robot and took the plant.
From the village of Fifa, she threatened him to bring the plant, and he would train the fire. So he made a robot and threw it in the trash, but Wally had already emerged and rescued the plant. Fifa was about to run towards me, but the small robot immobilized her with a laser, and Wally hid the plant inside. His power was so strong that Wally fell into the trash tunnel, and his power extinguished Fifa and threw her after him. His power also trapped Mockery, so he woke her up. Then Fifa woke up again with the help of some small robots and found herself in the trash storage area. Wally's large robots were taking the trash and turning it into cubes and throwing them into space. Wally and Fifa were inside the cubes and they were thrown into space. Fifa used her weapon and heated herself up, but she didn't free Wally. They were almost at the exit door, but then Mo appeared, who was walking behind Wally and got stuck in the inner door. The pressure of the ground was low, and Fifa was able to fly and grab onto Mo and the robots. The garbage collectors sensed something was wrong, so they closed the graduate's door and went back inside. The one that wasn't working properly was found by Devin, who had been searching for a working chip in the garbage. She brought several chips, but none were suitable for Wally. Wally appeared and told her to go and complete her paperwork. At first, Eva refused and grabbed Wally. Then Wally told her to go and said the land was more important. Eva thought the land must be suitable for Wally, so she went and grabbed Wally. She flew out, covered in garbage. A security robot saw Eva, so Eva threw it to her side and took off. The robots were about to be released from prison. Eva and Wally saw them and ran after them. Toot saw them on a camera. Farah released the security robots to catch them. Mockery, who was trapped, saw Wally and Eva's warning message. Farah poked his control body and screamed on the screen, telling Eva to bring it. The plant is on the vehicle's roof, and it is disposing of it. And then,
if Eva and the robots were in front of security, they would have revealed all their robots to Ahmd, the security guard, and McCree, as in the video where he's holding the plant to trick Otto and make him focus on him. Eva would have acted, and when Otto arrived, McCree jumped on them, attacked him, and tried to destroy him. During this fight, the small robot fell and was destroyed. Our robots did their duty and finished off the security robots. McCree managed to press the button to return to Earth, and the robots started putting the humans to sleep because they would travel back to Earth. The capsule for the plant appeared, so Eva could put it in, but Otto lost control again and tilted the ship to the side so the plant would fall from them. All the humans fell on their chairs, and John and Mary managed to save some children. A large chair started to fall, but Eva managed to act before it became the target of the humans. Otto was lowering the capsule, but Wally tried to stop it and leave it open, which made Wally even more destroyed. Then McCree got up and stood on his feet for the first time and started walking until we hit the ship and got rid of it completely. Then the ship returned, and Haifa went to Wally and asked for help to get her the plant, but he couldn't find it. The humans went up to get it to the capsule, and Haifa put the plant in the capsule, which officially activated the return to Earth process. Wally was freed from the pressure he was under, but he wasn't working. Within 10 seconds, the ship flew back to Earth, and as soon as the ship landed and the people got out, Haifa flew Wally to his house and started fixing it, putting new parts in it, and made a hole in the roof so that sunlight could power it.
And indeed Wally was working again, but Wally didn't remember her and couldn't recognize her. Eva tried to remind him and show him the truth throughout the movie he loved, but Wally left her and went away. He regained his old memory and became a regular robot. Eva held his hand and began to say goodbye, giving him one last kiss. But then Wally held her hand and was able to remember her. Little by little, Wally remembered her, and his old self returned, and they spent a romantic moment together. Meanwhile, McCree, on the other hand, is showing humans how they were able to cultivate the Earth, and how humans and robots are working together and starting to rebuild the Earth. And that's how we reached this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. If you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and share it on Instagram and Facebook. When he saw this life, Fayez revealed it because he's fine. Bye-bye.